game, relations with ourselves, the world around us, and the greater universe, finding our way back home.
Hello and greetings. Buenos dias, bonjour, and guten Tag. I'm back to speak again on ABE, and I will be now giving the final talk on the reality game, relations with ourselves, the world around us, and the greater universe. We've now come to the final part of the sessions in these readings, and in this final part, ABE, the unified field, has been trying to tell us that, as always, our worst enemy is ourselves, because we tend to get caught up in our own issues, in our own self-made entanglements. And so to clarify the way back home, we need to strip away these entanglements, these accretions that we've accumulated that make us go running around in circles. So I will read now some extracts of ABE from the final chapter, which is the session 6. And so ABE continues by saying that it seems like humans are in their own tug of war, being pulled to and forth and hither and thither. And so we need to kind of break away from that. And we need to, again, as always, allow a kind of flow, allow to connect with a different energy. So I quote from ABE. ABE says, quote, "Get involved. Love with all your heart. Cry at the loss of a loved one. Marvel at the sunset or the birth of a child. Love family. Love life. But see that underlying current that is never amiss. Flow. Allow that to but guide you. You do not need to lose who you are, but allow more. You do not need to deny your parts, but accept yourself wholly." So there's some nice messages there about being human, loving, loving a sunset, loving a birth, loving a child, experiencing loss and grief. And it's not about being holy as in spiritually holy, but as in being whole, integral to oneself. Drop all the ego and all the play acting and come back to yourself. And we lose that because we're always chasing things outside of us and naming those things we chase and accumulating goods. Again, ABE advises not to keep naming things. ABE says, quote, "Don't name it, don't chase it, but nurture, appreciate, and allow what is natural, what is you, what is there. Allow yourselves to be." And that's very characteristic of ABE, saying, just try and be natural. Try to focus on being human, being yourself, and not going around chasing things, because actually what you need is right there. It's never amiss, but often we end up missing it because, because we just don't see it. We don't see the wood for the trees, so we miss the whole nature of things. And it continues in this fashion by saying that, again, we get entangled because we attach ourselves externally to other frequency patterns. And this is a common thread in ABE's communications about we become energetically attached and thus entangled to things outside of ourselves. And ABE warns that if we do that, we can become stagnant. We become in a kind of vibrational pattern or loop. Here's another quote from ABE. Abe says, quote, "It is in the attachment to them that keeps you stagnant. And as you grow, you gather more. You sift and sort and box and contain varying vibrational resonances, almost as if you are building a house, a home. But you see, you are merely building an outer structure over a home that you already had. You are encasing yourselves in further and further, like the dolls, like the overcoats." And that's a common image or analogy there that Abe has used in the past, that because we're attaching to other vibrational frequencies, we put them over on us like overcoats. Abe has said before, it's like we put one coat on and then another coat and then another coat. So we're wearing multiple coats. Um, and it's like building a structure around us. So we're building the house from external impacts. But you see, we already have a home here in ourselves. So we don't need to build the structure. We need to focus on the home. Again, Abe says it's like the dolls. Abe there is referring to the Russian dolls, the Matryoshka dolls, where you have a larger doll and a smaller one inside, then another, and then another. That the essence, the home is inside, but we overcover it with more and more sheaths or more and more dolls. So we get further away from ourselves and we accumulate external baggage or external accretions. And we have to take them off and get back to ourselves. The way back home, as Abe has often said, is a kind of decluttering, not trying to gather more, but actually take off more, become less, and get back to the essential. And we have to kind of accept our wholeness. Otherwise, we become like a collection of different parts, fragmented, and we work through our different parts, our different fragmented selves, but are never whole. And we have to unite those aspects inside of us. Abe says here, quote, "It is now bringing this together, united in yourselves, vibratory signature, sensory body, and us, Abe, all combined. To see this wholeness, to bring it into physical, to have physical representation of this, your humanness, your true capability, has to be seen now. And you will be but representation of it, of unity." So bringing it all together, physical and non-physical, the vibratory signature, the vibratory nature of our spirit with the physical body. With the physical body, we exist with our physical vehicle. And Abe says, and us, Abe, because Abe is the unified field, which we are also a part of. Our aspect of consciousness, which works through us, is also connected to a greater consciousness. Some people call it our higher self or the consciousness field. We are related to that. We can bring it all together instead of operating through only different parts. In the physical world, we are not just a physical vehicle. We are not just a spirit in the physical world. We are intermingled and kind of in collaboration, in symbiosis between the physical and the spiritual. And we have to embrace that and work through it, not splinter it. And the final part, Abe again talks about the allowance and how we are all connected, all interrelated through the allowance with the greater whole, with the greater universe. A final short sentence to finish before the end of the book. Abe says, "And what you do so need to realize is that you are never apart from it. You never have been. You are never apart from it. You have never been." So there's my commentaries for the first half of the book, and the second half of the book are the original messages from Abe. So you get my commentaries referring to my understanding of the messages of Abe. In the second part, you get the original messages, and all my commentaries are referenced. So everything I say actually is referenced to a particular message. So you can see the original message and correlate it with my commentary. So that is now my completion of volume 2 in the Abe commentaries. And however, I would like to announce that volume 3 is underway. It is in the proofreading stage, and I expect volume 3 in the Abe Communication series to be released around early spring of next year, 2025. And that is going to be called The Way of Allowance. So Abe Communication Volume 3, The Way of Allowance, should be out early spring 2025. The Abe Communications will continue. Thank you for your attention and for continuing to relate and connect with the Abe Communications. I appreciate that. And for now, I leave you to go on your way. Stay well, stay healthy, and above all, stay grounded. Cheers now.